We had some dynamite rushing numbers in Class 3A, some special teams aces, and a couple of clutch performances in down-to-the-wire games in 9-man. Those all highlight this week's Game Ball and Top Performers list here in North Dakota, and that's where we start. In fact, Jody Norstead here for Midco Sports Network, and congrats to St. John Woodchucks quarterback Mikey Dunn on being chosen as this week's Game Ball, sponsored by Farmers Union Insurance, recipient after his shining performance in the win over previously unbeaten New Rockford Cheyenne. So Mikey, you're getting one of these bad boys. This is the new look Game Ball that our winners will be receiving this season. A little better grip to it. Really nice to play around in the office as well with this one too. All right, let's take a look at the players who were so close to earning one of these this past week. Now remember, we take a lot into account, especially when it comes to choosing the best of the best to win this hardware. We're not only looking at the stat line, but also the caliber of opponent. How big of a win was it for your team? We're also trying to balance the stat lines of some of those 9-man games where numbers can get a little crazy with that open field. But without any further ado, let's get to the list of top performers. We start with a young man that wears this lid. Micah Anderson from Sargent County, home of the Bulldogs. Micah rushed for 162 yards and a trio of touchdowns on 17 carries in the 32-7 win over Northern Cass. Anderson also took back a pick 6 in the win. You could have probably picked a handful of top performers from that Kidder County Linton-HMB double overtime thriller. Look at some of these highlights. Lucas Schumacher, the senior QB for the 4th-ranked Lions, played another exceptional game. Defensively, offensively, doesn't matter. Same goes for Kidder County senior quarterback and defensive back Jonah Harder, who ran in the touchdown and 2-point conversion in double overtime, and then finished the game off with the interception in the end zone, defending Schumacher, who moved over to receiver for the 4th and long play. Okay, I'll admit, this is my way of sneaking both of those guys in as bonus top performers. But my top performer from that game is actually Jacob Biegler. The Wolves junior fullback got it done all night, carrying the ball 24 times for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 36-28 double overtime win. Biegler was a workhorse, much like Parker Hager and Isaiah Harder were the last couple of years. The Wolves will keep their #1 ranking, and they leave no doubt who the team to beat in 9-man is. We had another hat trick-like performance. Remember John Gores from Shanley scoring 3 different ways last week? Well, Cavaliers' Landon Carter accomplished a similar feat. He returned both a kick and a punt for a touchdown, and also hauled in a touchdown pass in the Tornadoes' 64-22 win over Dunseith. Carter also intercepted a pass to help the 2nd-ranked team in 9-man improve to 3-0 on the year. How about that top team in Class 2A? Bismarck St. Mary's stud running back Cullen Curl rushed for 3 touchdowns and nearly 100 yards as the Saints rolled over Valley City. Isaiah Hughes is the next name on this list, but his offensive line could just as well be on here for their work in Bismarck's 42-7 win over Dickinson. The Demons racked up 500 yards of offense, and nearly half of that came on the legs of the standout junior running back who turned 15 carries into 235 yards and 4 scores. Head coach Mark Gibson described Hughes as a battering ram to a newspaper reporter after the game. He's off to a great start, and the Demons have looked dominant. They have a bye with the rest of the WDA this week. I had a few people message me about Carter Kochman's big performance for Shanley. The senior receiver combined for 220 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns in the Deacons' dominant win over Central. This line might as well read Carter and Cooper, because Cooper Mattern was the other Deacon that balled out for that offense, passing for 280 yards and 3 scores while also reaching the end zone twice on the ground. This was just my way of squeezing them both onto the top performer list. The Deacon offense has put up 100 points through 2 games. Oaks was one of the last programs to play game #1. The Tornadoes opened with a 61-3 thumping of Hatton Northwood. Senior QB and defensive back Garrett Meal played a near-perfect game. He completed 4 of 5 passes for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns, ran 4 times for 114 yards and 3 scores, and intercepted 2 passes on defense. Oh, then on special teams, he knocked 3 touchbacks through the back of the end zone and connected on 5 of 7 extra points. Garrett, I feel bad not getting you the game ball this week, but I do know he has one from basketball season, so hopefully he'll let this one slide. What a fantastic performance from 𝗕𝗹𝗹. West Fargo is 2-0 in EDC play after holding out Fargo South. Parker Nelson flashed on the field, turning 25 carries into 220 and 3. The Packers are 2-0 heading into a bye week against rival Cheyenne. Packers hoping to snap a 3-game losing skid to the Mustangs. Let's drive up I-29 to Thompson, where Sam Roller had a big night, accounting for 144 total yards, 4 touchdowns, and a punt return for a TD. Roller and the Tommies are 2-0 after routing Ellendale-Edgeley-Cullum. Back to West Fargo for our final top performer. North did a nice job of trying to slow down Cheyenne All-State running back 𝗕𝗹𝗹, but junior quarterback Grant Workentine took advantage, passing for a pair of touchdowns, rushing for 2 more in the Mustangs' 42-14 win over Fargo North. The third-ranked Mustangs had passed their first 2 tests of the season. The competition gets tougher with the Packers on Friday night. That leads us to our game ball winner, sponsored by Farmers Union Insurance. St. John trailed New Rockford Cheyenne 36-14 at one point in the final minutes of the first half in a battle of unbeatens on Friday. But they weren't done, thanks in large part to the play of senior quarterback Mikey Dunn. Number 12 guided his team from behind, completing 11 of 13 passes for 151 yards and 2 scores. He rushed for 133 yards and 2 more touchdowns. He added an interception and a forced fumble on defense. That forced fumble, by the way, and one of his rushing scores were massive plays in the final quarter, as St. John scored 28 unanswered points to win it, moving to 3-0 on the season. Congrats to Mikey and the rest of those Woodchucks. Enjoy the game ball, you guys earned it. As for this week, just a heads up that we'll have an abbreviated Varsity Sports Live on Friday. You can see that at halftime of Game 2 of the Rushmore Bowl, a pair of games that we're televising from South Dakota. Keep tuned to our social media channels for more information on that. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.